what makes you happy about voice acting, and what's your favorite thing about the character that you voice act?
So the things I like best about voice acting is there's really no limit. I also do on camera work and stuff like that where you see my face, but that is limiting because I only look like this, right? I'm only 5'1". I am the age I am, which I bet you can't guess. Anybody guess how old I am? I'm not freaky about it. I'm not like upset about it. Can you guess? What do you think, Layla? 20? Bless. I am older than I look. I am 50 years old, you guys. So there are things, what I'm saying is there are things about my physical self that I can't change. But my voice is something I can change quite a bit. And so there's really no limit. I get to play little boys, I get to play girls, I get to play villains, I get to play critters and monsters, and I love all of that. I also think it's a real, it's kind of a puzzle sometimes to figure out how to say something well. I also happen to have a little superpower. I'm a really, really good cold reader. So I read a lot. That's my job, a lot. In addition to doing anime and stuff like that, I do corporate stuff. And then my voice becomes very, it's just like this, and I'm talking about Lean Six Sigma. I can change my voice and read just about anything. And there's a puzzle to that I really like. It's never the same every day, and I really like that too. What was the second part of what do I like? What was the second part, Layla?
What do you like about playing Ochako, is that right?
About playing Ochako? Oh. Well, she's the best girl. She is really wonderful to play. And in the beginning, I was a little bit worried that she might just be Deku's love interest, you know what I mean? Just the good girl. But I think she's been given her own really nice arc. She goes from being a very practical, good girl, right? I'm doing this because I want to help my family. I'm in it for the money. Not in a cold way or anything, but just like, I have this gift I can use to help my family. Very dependable, very good girl kind of thing. And then as she goes on, I think it's, she tells Aizawa, what is that, season 4? She says, I want to save people. I want to save people. And because she can. She grows into being a hero, knowing her own ability and power, and I think her worth, as a part of this whole team. So that's why I love playing her. And she goes to bat for her friends. She's kind of unafraid to stand up when somebody needs to. If you've seen season 6, you know what I'm talking about. The end of season 6, everything looks very crazy. It's all been very rough. The heroes have been just beat up. And somebody needs to bring it all together. Somebody needs to. And she does that. She does that. And it's great. It's great. She's a strong girl. She's strong.
To piggyback on that, when do you think Ochako took that first step off of the pain and started becoming that three-dimensional character that you talked about?
Honestly, I would say season 2. I think in the Sports Fest, which is my favorite, I love season 2 because of the Sports Fest. I think it's that moment when, Deku's like, hey, I've been taking all these notes, and let's just strategize to see how you can beat Bakugo. And she says, knowing that she likes it, she has lots of respect for him, but she's like, thanks, I've got it. I've got my own ideas. She's like, I can do it without your help. And then she almost does. And she's so obviously not as physically powerful, or, her quirk is not like Bakugo's, he's a force. But she almost beat it. Because she's smart and she believed in herself. And I think that's when you see it. You begin to see it there.
Very cool, very nice. Who else do we have that has a question? Or a comment, or just a compliment, really, we take this. All right, tell us your name, friend.
My name is Timothy. I was wondering it was a twofer, but I was wondering what's your favorite arc in One Piece, and what was the hardest arc to act in?
So favorite, for pure enjoyment, used to be Thriller Bard.
Yes.
Also, that's when we meet Brooke, and he adds so much fun to the show as a character. These days it's Wano. I mean, I really loved Whole Cake too. I loved Whole Cake when we were in Whole Cake, and we did Whole Cake during the pandemic, which was its own sort of fever dream. But we were loving it and having such a good time. And then Wano has just been an extension of that. It's been so much fun. It's so much fun. Everybody's so into it right now, which has not always been the case. So that is adding a layer of excitement to it. But everybody has good fights in Wano. The animation is so cool. So I'll say that. As far as hardest thing to voice, so it feels like an easy out, but we recorded One Piece out of order. Some of you may know that, some of you may not. The 4Kids dub had gotten to the 100s, and they were on a broadcast schedule, so they were on TV, and they were in the 100s. So when Funimation took over that dub, we were in the 100s, and we had to start there because it was on TV, and we had to keep up and keep going, which is very weird. I've never really spoken to somebody who was watching the 4Kids dub, and then suddenly there's a new dub picking up and how that felt. But what that meant for us was we did not go back to episode 1 and pick up those first 100 whatever episodes until a year or two later. So Nami's whole backstory with the Arlong arc, I saw later and did later after I'd already been playing her. So that Arlong arc was hard. It was hard. It's so emotional. And there's a lot of really big stuff that happens to her there. And so you want to do, as with everything that's emotional, you want to do it justice while also having to fit the flaps, which is a whole thing. But I remember that scene. I remember very well recording that whole street scene, which now, I mean, if there's any thread on social media, people saying, what is the anime scene that made you cry or that's iconic? That scene, somebody's gonna bring up that scene. And I remember doing it and being like,